Hey everybody, you're watching CAD Roll Hunter, and we've got some Canadian pennies, and we're going to try to find some goodies in here to add to our beautiful Lighthouse Vista Nature album. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James, and you're watching my channel CAD Roll Hunter, and we're going to do a penny hunt. My friends at Lighthouse Canada sent me this Lighthouse Vista Nature penny album, and I promised to do my best to fill it up with pennies from coinrollhunting. And I've got 20 rolls of customer wrapped pennies that have been returned to the bank. Pennies don't circulate here in Canada, so people are emptying out their coin drawers and piggy banks and what have you, bringing them back to the bank. Now the banks are supposed to return these to the mint to get melted down, and I'm fortunate enough that I can get these from my tellers. This first bundle here looks pretty good because I see a couple of laureate portrait enders. There's one from the 60s and one date unknown. So that looks pretty good. This one here, well, it looks like we might have some more modern stuff. There's a few American, and sometimes we'll find full rolls of US pennies. We've had that happen lately, but we won't know until we get into those. So we want to do that. I got all the tools here. I've got my magnet, I've got my scale, I've got my magnifier. Let's get into these pennies. Well, I figured we may as well start off strong. Here is that laureate portrait that we saw on the end. This is a 1961, so we got a good start here. We'll make our way through these rolls, and hopefully there's more than just the other one friend we saw on the ender. Well, we are going to find a friend in that roll. It's a 1963, our second find of the hunt. Roll number 2, our second ender with the date showing is a 1962. Still on roll number 2, I've got a 1982, one of the 7 varieties of American 1982s that are pretty common that you can find. This is the 1982 large date Denver copper. The one that everybody's looking for, that's extremely rare and potentially worth, I don't know, millions of dollars maybe, is the 1982 small date Denver copper, the 82D small date copper. This is not it. It has a very different too. This one is, well, the date itself is bigger and closer to the rim, but this particular too looks very different from the small date. But I see posts on Facebook and coin groups all the time saying, did I find it? Did I find it? Weigh it, weigh it. Well, it has to be the small date for it to be valuable. So roll number 3, and we're going to have a first year Queen Elizabeth II. It is a 1953. The one thing we want to check is to see if it is the shoulder fold or no shoulder fold. The shoulder fold variety would be a valuable coin, even in this condition. We'll take a peek. Here it is under the scope, and the shoulder fold designation is really referring to the design on her shoulder, whether it looks like you can see either the strap of a dress or the fold of the shoulder. And most coins, when they are circulated, you really can't tell, but what you can tell by is by the legend, and particularly the eye here has a serif font. They're flared out at the ends. This is the no shoulder fold. So this is the common one. We're going to set it aside. I always pull out all of my 50s pennies anyway. If it was the shoulder fold variety, this eye would have been very slim. It wouldn't have had these extra sort of flares out at the bottom and the top. That's the one you want to look out for sure. I thought I would just take a second and give you a little bit of an idea about what it is that I'm doing here. As I'm going through the roll of coins, which I've laid out here, I'm separating out all of the copper, putting it over here, and all of the more modern zinc and steel cents I'm putting over here. And all Canadian pennies from 1996 and earlier are made of copper, so they all go here. And anything after that could be zinc, could be steel. I put them over here. And of course, I'm scoping and weighing for varieties and using the magnet and doing all sorts of things like that. But eventually, all of the copper that isn't going to be held aside or put in rolls is going to end up in the copper cup. And I just roll all of that up and keep it. And all of the zinc and steel cents that aren't anything particularly special or aren't flawless, because I'll pick out the nicest of the best ones here, they're going to go over here, and I'm going to roll them back up and take them back to the bank. Roll number 5, here's another one. We're going to have to flip it over to see what year it is. And it's a 1961. Just a little further back, there's our second 1963. So we are in that sixth roll, and I mean, we're pretty balanced out between copper and steel and zinc, but we're going to have an oldie. Might tip the scale in the favor of copper. There's a 1944. That is a King George VI. That looks like it's got some good detail. And it's got a little bit of a rim damage at the top here, but no matter. It's a 1944, a King George VI. We'll take that. That's awesome. I just opened up roll number 7, and I just took a peek at this 2003, nice and shiny. There are 4 different varieties with this portrait and the uncrowned portrait with the P, with no P. But that's not why I'm bringing you in. I'm bringing you in because this next one here that I saw is an oldie, an old American. This is a wheat cent. This is a 1926, I think. We'll have to, yeah, it's pretty slick. I'll throw it under the scope. We'll confirm that. A 1926 Philadelphia. There it is, confirmed. Awesome. A 1926. It's just awesome to find a coin from the 20s in a coin roll hunt, and especially an American coin here in Canada. This is a real treat. I had to look it up in the red book because I'm not as familiar with the key dates or semi-key dates. I think this one's pretty common. And if I recall from just moments ago, it is minted at 144 million. And so pretty plentiful, but to find a almost 100-year-old coin in circulation is really awesome. That's the kind of thing coin roll hunters love to find. Well, we're going to follow that up with another older one here from Canada. Not quite as old, but it's another 1961, our third 61 of the hunt. Just a bit further back in that roll, pretty circulated. It is a very brown 1963. Roll 11 just past the halfway point, and we are going to have one that's a little unusual for me. It's a San Francisco minted cent from the States, 1973 S. Just unusual for me to find S minted coins here. Still in that roll, and this one is just positively glowing. Let's flip it over, and it is a 2000, and I think there are some varieties we could find in a 2000. If we found one in this condition, that would be amazing. And that is a pretty gorgeous looking coin. What we would hope to be finding, of course, is the wide AM variety, where there'd be a nice space here between the A and the M. We just have the standard, normal, not valuable, close AM, although this is a gorgeous coin, and this will probably upgrade in my own collection, so I'm going to hold on to this one. Well, here's something a little fun. Just the other day, I was at a family Christmas event, and they had a bunch of games and fun things for everyone to do, and one of them was to guess how many candies was in a tube, how many candies was in a jar. They had one which was guess how many nickels was in the little creamer, and they had another one which was guess how many dimes were in the creamer. And I'm pretty competitive with this sort of stuff. I really wanted the dimes and the nickels. I didn't really care about the candy, so I guessed on both of them. I think I was close on the dimes, but I didn't get it. But I did win this. I won this. I guess there were 15 nickels in this, and I was bang on with 15 nickels. And, well, of course, I had to make a video about it and see what I won. It's probably just 45 cents, but maybe there's a bit of nickel for the nickel cup. You never know. Let's dig in and see. Well, there they are, 15 nickels, and nothing looks all that old. And we'll just go and take a peek here and see if there's anything. I don't think so. Looks like they're all gonna be, wait a minute, what do we got here? No, 2013, just very circulated. So it looks like we've got some regular Canadian circulating nickels, but that's okay. I got a plan. I'm going to roll them up in here. I'm going to take them back to the bank with these other coins, and we're going to try to trade up for my next box of nickels. We're going to take these 15, and hopefully we can find 15 little gems and cool stuff. Now the real question is, how many silver dimes were in with those dimes in the other creamer? I guess we'll never know. Roll number 12, and here is an absolute beauty. I just flipped it over thinking this was going to be maybe a 1980s, and it's a 1969, and it is 100% going to upgrade in this album. That's a fantastic one. Look at that. Roll 14, it's been a bit since we found an older one. This one is going to be another 1963. That's it. We're down to the last roll. Here we go. Well, we're going to have at least one find in this last roll. It looks a little bit mangled. Could it be something a little bit older? And it is. It's a 1955. Now, this coin's in pretty rough condition, but I always scope my 55s. There's a very rare variety, and that's the no shoulder fold 1955. This is not it. This is the shoulder fold 1955, the very common one. If we had found the no shoulder fold variety, even in this condition, it would be an extremely valuable coin, an awesome find. Oh well, maybe next time. Same roll? Well, it's the last roll, so it has to be the same roll, but we found a really nice American, a 1979, pretty red. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, we made our way through those 20 rolls, and we did pretty good. We had lots of fun. We got a couple of cups here of copper and a couple of cups of steel and zinc, so it was pretty even. And in terms of our foreign finds, we found a handful of US copper, and here is our zinc discard pile. But we did find a few cents here that we'll hold on to that were zinc cents that were in pretty nice shape, including that 2000 at the top there. Found a pretty nice 1979. And in terms of the Canadians, I pulled aside a couple stacks of pretty nice, shiny, modern pennies. So those are zinc and steel cents that were in really good condition. And then, of course, this 1969, which is absolutely going to update or upgrade the album. Awesome. And then in terms of our laureate portrait finds, we got 8 laureate portraits from the 60s, 3 61s, a 62, and 4 1963s. Oddly, no 1964s, which are really plentiful. We found a couple in the 50s. We got a 53 and a 55. That was great. Our oldest Canadian of the hunt was a 1944 King George VI, and I think there's a spot in the album for that one too. And our oldest coin altogether was this 1926 Lincoln wheat cent, and that was pretty wicked. Next up, we're going to take a look at the album. We're going to see if we can slot anything on these pages, and I think we're going to find a couple that we can put in here. Well, we made a little bit of progress, and that's what we like to see. We did slot in that 1944 right there, and that 1969 found a home here, and here's the one that we had in there before. No comparison. This album just got a whole lot nicer. I hope you enjoyed this penny hunt and album fill in our series. If you did, please give the video a like. That's really great if you can do that. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, Cateroll Hunter, why don't you do that? Just go ahead and do it. Just click the button. It's free. It's easy. You can do it. I know you can. In any case, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm glad you joined along for the ride. I always enjoy sharing my finds with you and making these videos to share. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.